Today, I'm launching a new series titled AI Hurts Everything. Now, I want to be very clear up front. This series is not about bashing AI. But too often, we do one of two things. Either we look at only the positives of AI, or we latch on to one or two negative stories about AI and then complain about it. I don't think either approach is healthy. In my opinion, what you need to take is an honest look at the benefits and the drawbacks of anything you do. But if you don't know what the drawbacks are, how can you properly evaluate something? Here's a quick example. So we have about 8 acres where I live out in the country, and 6 of those acres just aren't taken care of. They're just grassland. And so I kind of want a tractor. I kind of want a small tractor, nothing big, but I want a tractor I can pull a mower deck behind and mow that back 6 acres. And it'd be kind of nice if I had also a scoop. I could, dig things out, or I could carry things, whatever. I'm starting to look around at tractors, and I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, okay, I found a tractor. It's only $30,000. I can get a tractor that has a backhoe, and it has a scoop, and it has the pull behind mower, and here's all the benefits of this tractor. And my wife said, and where are you gonna park it? Kind of need a place to park it, and probably shouldn't be in the weather. We should probably have like a barn for this. Do we have a barn for this? No, we don't have a barn for this. We don't have a place to put it. It'd be just sitting out in the field, and that's not great. You can do it. It's not great. And we started to go through all of the other side, right? There's the positive side. Boy, it'd be great to have that backhoe. I've got a couple of stumps I could dig out. But there's also a negative side to it, right? We need to evaluate both sides, because if I just look at the positives, then a tractor is obvious. But before long, I also have a whole bunch of other attachments that have no place for them. They sit in the yard and they get rusty and all the rest, because I'm not looking at the negatives too. And I have to look at both in order to make a proper evaluation of, is this worth it? Because yes, it does provide benefits, but those benefits aren't outweighed by the negatives. I have to look at both and properly evaluate. So we know what the benefits of AI are supposed to be. The companies that produce them tell us all the time. So we hear that, and then sometimes it even gets couched as negatives, right? Like we already were supposed to be replaced by AI. I think it was Dario, the head of Claude, said that, or Anthropic, said that we're going to be, replacing all software developers in a year. And that was a year and a half ago. And then it was all white collar jobs getting replaced in a year. Also didn't happen, and it's not happening. But even those things, they're very generic things that then don't happen. And so they almost become a benefit. Like, we thought this, but it didn't happen. But we were told things like, well, AI is going to be able to do software development jobs. It's going to be able to replace a lot of menial jobs. It's going to be able to do things that, solve math problems we've never been able to solve, and all this kind of great stuff. We've heard all the positives because that's their job. Their job is to sell us on why the thing they're selling is good. But the companies producing those things aren't going to tell us, and here's all the drawbacks, so you can properly evaluate. So we need to look at the drawbacks. So here's a quick experiment. I want you to get a piece of paper, draw a line to the middle, and then on one side, I want you to write all the benefits of AI in one column. Think it through, maybe pause this video, write down all the benefits you can think of, maybe to you personally, but then in general, what AI provides. And on the other side, I want you to write down all the drawbacks that you know. And I want you to ask yourself a question. Are you sure? Are you sure those are the drawbacks? Are you sure that's all the drawbacks? I'm sure you're not sure it's all the drawbacks. But when you look at a drawback, you might say, well, AI uses a lot of water. Does it? Do you know that? Or have you heard that? In fact, have you heard bad stories that, kind of scare tactic into it's using tons of water? And then you hear, well, no, they use closed loop system, and it doesn't actually use a lot of water. So what is it, right? So even those things that or you think are negative, are you sure they're actually true? Or have you just heard the repetition through a rumor mill of this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and it keeps getting bigger and changed and different? So I want you to look at what are the positives, what are the benefits, and then also what are the drawbacks those things that are negative. Now, once you've done this, I want you to then say, keep that list with you. Because over this series, we're going to cover the drawbacks of AI in a number of different areas. Those areas include the drawbacks to communities, to companies, to software, to people in general, to creators, yes, people like me, to investors, to law enforcement, to security for all of us, the economy, and much more. And so then what I want you to do is when you look at your list, say, was I thinking about that? Did I even know that was a problem? Now, every video is going to be filled with verified, reviewable sources of information. We're going to go through news article after news article, study after study, and every one of them will have a link at the bottom where you can read the entire thing. And also, I'm not going to agree with every news article or every story because we're going to see evidence. One of the things that too often happens is we hear anecdotal things, right? Things that happen to one person. My cousin's brother had, AI came into his room and, painted the walls blue. That's one case. Maybe it happened, probably didn't. AI doesn't have a body yet, except for maybe a couple of robots. But the reality is we want to look at what's actually happening and what's not just a one-off thing, but it happens a lot. So each video will paint a picture of the negative impacts AI is having in that sector. And each video is also going to have a conclusion of things that we can do to lessen that impact of AI in that sector. Because the solution here isn't just to ban AI. That's not reality, and it's not even fair. But we also shouldn't just accept that these negative impacts are inevitable or acceptable. Now, just to be clear, I am not anti-AI. In fact, I pay for subscriptions to GitHub Copilot, I pay for Claude Max, and I pay for ChatGPT. I use AI almost every day. But I do think we need to take a realistic look at how best to constrain AI in order for it to have a positive impact on society overall. Because just unconstrained isn't going to work. Now, over the next few months, I'll be releasing 1 or 2 videos per week covering specific topics. I'd appreciate it if you could do 2 things for me. First, it'd be really helpful if you would subscribe because you're more likely to get notified of new videos as they're released. And second, I would love for you to share these videos with others, especially others who might benefit from them. Because the more people know, the more people have a true picture of what's going on, the better. Just passively allowing the negative impacts of AI is going to have a profound impact on everything around us for decades to come. We need to be informed and we need to take action. Now, you will hear in the upcoming videos, the one additional thing that you could do to help is to purchase one of my training courses. Those courses are what fund this free content. And this series is a culmination of months of investigation, compilation, and planning. The income I'm going to get from YouTube for these videos will probably cover just about enough for one family dinner out once. Okay. Just to be clear, I don't do these videos to sell courses. I would do them differently if I was going to just, be advertisement for my courses. I sell courses so I can create more of these videos. There's a difference in that, right? I'm not looking to just push you to buy stuff. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for you to just, buy my course on this, buy my course on that just because. But if you find real training content, not AI generated slop, valuable, these courses can have a big impact in your career and I want to help. Or you might just want to learn to be a game developer for fun. I've got a course on that as well. Okay. The goal here is not to sell courses, but the goal is to keep the lights on because I want to be able to do more of this. I want to help the community figure out how to make good decisions in software development, good decisions around AI as well. In any event, thanks for watching so far. The link to the series playlist will be in the description. The next video to come out will be covering how AI hurts people. And after that, we're going to be covering how AI hurts communities. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. And as always, I am Tim Corey.